Beetlejuice. 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 It's showtime. Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Matt here. Hope you're doing well. So this week, we got the ghost with the most. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Don't say it 3 times. Or else. After 36 years later, when the original Beetlejuice came out in 1988, I wasn't even alive yet. Ooh. Finally got the long-awaited sequel. They've been trying to make a Beetlejuice sequel since 1988. There was that one title, Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii. That was floating around for years. But I'm still very curious of what that Beetlejuice was going to be in Hawaii. It could have been fun. Who knows? Well, we finally got Beetlejuice, and we got Tim Burton back. We got the man Michael Keaton back, Winona Ryder back, and Catherine O Hara returned. So we got the best of the best. I mean, when the first Beetlejuice came out, Tim Burton was just coming off of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, though he was still unknown. And Michael Keaton, this was before Batman. Batman, you say? Winona Ryder was just a teenager. I mean, she was just starting out in Hollywood. And even Catherine O Hara. The funny part about Catherine O Hara, this is how stupid I was when I was younger. I could never put the 2 and 2 together. The mom of Beetlejuice, of the stepmother of Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice, is the same actress. This is how stupid I am. Is the same actress that played Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone. I wonder how long it took people to realize that. Or am I just a dumb fuck who did it for so many years? Oh boy. And this is the guy who went to film school. Do you really want to follow him? So here we go. Beetlejuice. I was looking forward to this movie. Not that I'm a huge Beetlejuice. I mean, yes, it's one of Tim Burton's best films. No doubt about it. Michael Keaton is a legend for this role. The practical effects, the animatronics, the creativity behind the movie, the dark humor, the adult humor, even for a PG movie at the time, way beyond anything anyone expected, plus being an original film. So let's get into it. Positives. Tim Burton, I was worried about this movie because so many of his recent movies have been fully CGI heavy. Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo, it's like, I hope he goes back to what made the original Beetlejuice, the animatronics, the practical effects, and all that. Well, the great thing is, he did that in this movie. There's very little CGI, or if there is, you can barely tell. He goes back to the practical with the animatronics, with that thing. The makeup effects look great. Even the way he filmed certain things. There's even a short kind of stop motion claymation scene in the movie that I thought, this is Burton going back to what made him awesome from the late 80s and early 90s. We are in the Burtonverse, and I love it. Michael Keaton hasn't missed a beat. 36 years later, and you would never realize time has gone by. He's back in that role like always. I mean, and I was worried watching the trailer that I thought that maybe they did the hair too long this time, or something looked a little off. But actually watching the movie in full, he looks exactly the same. The dude doesn't age. Well, he did a little bit. You just can't tell because the makeup. But he is still spot on, 100%. which I thought was brilliant. Winona Ryder, once again, as Lydia, still feels like Lydia, just grown up. You know, I was a little worried too with the hair being exactly the same from when she was a teenager. Like, how many teenagers grow up and have the same haircut? And she worked, you know, she once again got back right into the role. Catherine O Hara, still very quirky, very weird as a stepmother. Great. And then we get the dark humor. You know, I was also worried, are we going to still have that same humor that we had in the original? And I wouldn't say as far as what they did in the original, but they still had those moments. And I was like, yes, you didn't water this down. You didn't, you know, go down to this level for this, you know, for our climate these days. You still have that dark humor. You still have those moments, those sexual moments, sexual dialogue. And I was like, okay, I like it. One thing in the practical effects, I think is a major standout in this movie. Especially with so many movies with CGI and all that, green screen and, oh, you gotta do CGI, you gotta do CGI, like the Flash movie. And going back to practical effects, people in makeup, it looked great. I mean, that alone made this movie work for me. I mean, you can watch the original and watch this one back to back. And between Michael Keaton's performance and the practical makeup, practical effects, we spent a lot more time in the afterlife in this movie. And I really like that because it's all from the mind of Burton. And using those effects, or in the sandworms. Hey, you've been to Saturn. Hey, I've been to Saturn. Sandworms. Am I right? The horror, actually, yes, the original has some horror elements, like the scene where Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin get really, really old looking and wrinkly, and that was a creepy scene in the original, especially for a kid. This one still has those horror elements, which I really like. They did it. I think there are maybe even more horror elements and moments and scenes and imagery in this movie than in the original. I also like that this one is set during Halloween. It's set the day before Halloween and the day of Halloween. So this is a perfect movie to watch during the Halloween October season. So once again, you can watch the original and then watch the sequel and back to back, and especially in October, like most people do. And this one is, like I said, the setting is around Halloween. So in the town that Lydia and Jenna Ortega's character live in, there's a lot of Halloween, jack-o'-lanterns, Halloween stuff up, people going trick-or-treating. The movie's about an hour and 44 minutes. I did think the first act was a little rough, but once we get really going with the movie, I thought the pacing really was well done throughout the rest of the film. Some of my negatives with this movie. One of the great things about the original Beetlejuice, it was a simple story. People live there, they die, another family moves in, the people that used to live there want the new family out of their house. What do? They summon Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. And that's the plot of the original. Get these people out of our house and get someone to do that. Easy, done. This movie, for some reason, Beetlejuice, has several plots. Several. In an hour and 44-minute movie, too many plots for 1 hour and 40-minute movie before the credits begin. Not good. And a lot of these subplots don't get resolved. That was the other thing. That you have like the whole Monica Bellucci character had no point in being in this movie. It was supposed to be like the Bride of Frankenstein. I knew what Tim Burton was going for, but this time it's like the Bride of Beetlejuice. And it's like, you do nothing with that character at all. And even her conclusion is lackluster. Is that you think it's going to build up to this crescendo moment, where that major moment happens in the middle of the movie, and you go, and then we get to the ending and you're like, that was anticlimactic. This should have been like Big Fish, father-son moment, or in this case, mother-daughter moment, or daughter and father-daughter moment. You don't get that flow of emotion, if you will. And then you get to the mother-daughter relationship between Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega, and even that is just anticlimactic. I wanted Big Fish emotion. The musical number in the third act, like a wedding scene, and I thought that was a little too long, and B, I don't know, the song choice, it didn't work for me. I even thought Jenna Ortega did a good job. I was worried her that she was going to be like Wednesday Addams from her Wednesday show on Netflix. That was also directed by Tim Burton. She did fine. I think she worked for the role, but compared to Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder and Catherine O Hara, you know, she's going to get overshadowed by all of them. So, and like that, I thought this is one of Tim Burton's best movies, probably in about since 10 years ago. And before that, I would say Sweeney Todd. So, this is definitely better than Hocus Pocus 2, the long-awaited sequel we got for that, or Disenchanted, the long-awaited Enchanted sequel from Amy Adams. But is it Top Gun Maverick? No. Is it better than the original Beetlejuice? No. But like I said, I think as a double feature, you're going to have fun watching the original and this one. So at least give this a 3.9 out of 5. I think mainly the script needed another rewrite to simplify it instead of having all these other subplots. That 90% of them don't go anywhere, and then you left other storylines still out there by the end of the movie and don't resolve them. So let me know in the comments below, did you like Beetlejuice? Were you happy to see Michael Keaton return? Also Winona Ryder. So, and would you like to see another Beetlejuice? Showtime. Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment.